Hi, welcome to Fitness and Fat Loss Secrets, episode number 4.
There we
Number
go.
4.
There we go.
Boom. So we're very excited.
Definitely.
Last week we added a new segment, the 5 questions in 5 minutes,
Yeah,
or
which
less.
worked very well too.
Yeah. So we'll do that again today, and we again are simulcasting 2 different Facebook Lives at the same time. We have our Altman Fitness page over here, and we have our Altman Bootcamp members over here. And the format of the day will be, if you are on our Altman Fitness page, then, hi Kelly. If you're on our Altman Fitness page, then you will be part of the Fitness and Fat Loss Secrets episode number 4 for the first 15 minutes. And then after that, we'll say goodbye to you, and then we'll come over here and I'll spend 15 more minutes answering questions for just members, okay? So, let me tell you what this whole thing's all about. So the big question is this: how do we lose weight while still feeling great without cheating by taking dangerous supplements, drugs, or undergoing surgeries that could really hurt us? And how do we sort through all of the confusing information out there when it comes to how to eat and exercise for weight loss? So that's the question, and this Fitness and Fat Loss Secrets Facebook Live will give you the answers. Should we get started?
Definitely.
All right,
well
let's
said.
roll.
Well said. All right, so the format of this first 15 minutes is going to be a couple questions followed by, within 10 minutes, followed by 5 questions in 5 minutes. We're going to make Jay be quick and condense his knowledge.
Yes. And if you guys have questions out there, ask them below. And the other thing I want to say is that if you're watching with us right now, please like and share this to help spread the word. Please.
Definitely.
All right.
Yeah. All right, so the first question is from a member that I got last week, and she has been struggling. She's been eating lean, good meats.
Okay.
And she has been struggling with finding out what are ways to add flavor to it. And I personally remember going over to one of our company meetings at your place, and there was a steak you made that had a lot of flavor in it.
Yeah.
So she's looking for kind of some fairly easy, simple ways to enhance the flavor of her meats. And I know you are someone that likes flavor, so
absolutely
anything that can help her out.
Yeah, you bet. So let's start with, did she happen to mention a specific meal?
Like meats, I would say like a steaks.
Okay.
Of some sort.
Perfect.
Would be a good starting, and maybe if you have any like quick go-tos for other lean meats.
Okay. So a couple of things that are coming to my mind right away. So when I'm thinking about lean meats, because you said she's eating lean meats, right? So we have our lean meats and we have our fatty meats, and fatty meats generally are going to have more flavor, right? The fat through the offers more flavor, and when you have leaner meats, it generally has less flavor, so you got to do something to add flavor back to it, right? So a couple of great options. If you're trying to stay, with your proteins, if you're trying to eat on the leaner side, like trying to reduce your fat down, or for whatever reason you're doing that, then what I would suggest, like one of my very favorite ways to add flavor, in our house, Kelly knows this, that we do a lot of Mexican food. So one of our favorite ways to add flavor is by adding salsa. So you can, and there's a whole bunch of different kinds of salsa out there, and so I'd say experiment around and try to find 1, 2, or 3, or like me, I have like 10 favorites. So find whatever like salsas that can work with lean meat. So that works with chicken and or steak. And if you're making, whether it's lettuce wraps or tortilla wrapped steak and or chicken, adding salsa can go a long way to adding a lot of flavor. And the other thing about the leaner meats, well, let me say about like flavor, I guess. So when you're trying to add flavor, as a general rule, what a lot of chefs do, they either add fat, sugar, salt. Those are kind of the things, those are the big flavor enhancers into food. Now, when I'm assuming this question comes from someone trying to lose fat weight. So if you're trying to lose fat weight, I think most of us are onto the idea that you need to reduce sugars, and we want to be conscious at least of like how much fat we're having. And then with sodium, we don't want to be overboard with sodium either. So like those are all the flavor enhancers. So okay, what do we do? We're trying to like kind of strike the balance of great tasting food, which I think you always should have, and having food that's also going to support your goals when it comes to how much you want to weigh and how you want to feel and that kind of thing. So when you're cooking lean meats, you got to think about cooking them lower and slower. So when you're cooking lean, cook lower and slower. That will help for a more tender meat. And then depending on what it is, if it's chicken, cook it. If it's chicken breast, cook it till it's just done. So a lot of people make the mistake of cooking chicken breast well past it's done, and then it gets dry and the flavor is gone, and it's like really hard to eat because it's, you know, it's nasty. If you take a chicken breast and you season it, and then you cook it till it's just done, and then let it sit and rest for 3 or 4 minutes, then you'll have a much more tender piece of chicken to start with. So that's like one cooking tip.
Yep.
If you're not onto that idea. And the same with the steaks. As a general rule with lean steaks, if you cook them lower and slower, like I think when you came over to our house, I cooked a flank steak. Now that one I had marinated in coconut aminos. And if you're not familiar with that, you guys, that's like a soy sauce, but made from coconut. It's a little bit lower sodium version of aminos. You could use a lower sodium soy sauce. You could also use the coconut aminos, and you could also use what's called Bragg's amino acids. Those all offer a lot of flavor into the meat. And then I think about seasoning. So when I season that, I use ginger and garlic. And ginger and garlic, you know, like offer just tons of flavor. So, and I let it marinate for an entire day. So I marinated that steak the day before you guys came, and then I made it. That's why it had just so much flavor, and it's tender, it's juicy, it's everything that at least I love in a steak. So
right, and it was delicious for sure. Yeah.
So add your seasonings, do your salting as a general, like after your protein is cooked, so that way you get the most flavor from the least amount of sodium. If sodium is more of a concern, if you have like blood pressure issues or anything like that, there's another kind of salt called no salt salt. There's a couple different brands: New Salt, NU salt, and No Salt salt. It's like no salt dash salt. And what these are potassium salts, and they don't raise blood pressure like the sodium salts that we generally have. So you can either use a combination of a regular, like a high quality sea salt and one of these no salt salts to enhance the flavor. And if you ever look at packaging at the stores that showcases lower sodium options, if you look at the potassium in there, you're going to see the potassium goes way up. And it's also salt. That's how they get flavor. But it's just using potassium instead of sodium for the salt.
Gotcha.
Okay. So those are my best tips I can think of.
Yeah.
For cooking lean proteins and getting the flavor.
Definitely some more things to think about. There's definitely more options. I didn't even think about, I guess, the taco version of it, or like the make it more Mexican.
Yeah.
We'll definitely add a different. I think what was happening is she was eating a lot of the same meat over and over again, and needing a different bit of a flavor. After a while, it can be kind of dull, and we don't want eating healthy to be dull. We want it to be.
It needs to taste like amazing,
exactly.
Right?
Exactly. Yep.
So so I guess another thing, with that, if you need to say that you're always eating chicken breast, like holy crap, if I eat another freaking chicken breast, I'm gonna die. But if you take it, if you go through all the different kinds of foods, like for example, American, how can you cook this American style?
Gotcha.
How can you cook it Asian? How can you cook it Mexican? How can you do it Italian? How can you do it French? And then think about all those seasonings. Those are like several different ways.
Definitely.
To really change up the flavor profile and make it taste really good. Adding steak or a really lean ground beef into a red sauce can be really delicious too. Like thinking like Italian flavors with oreganos and parsleys and basils and garlic and onions. That can be really delicious and really enhance the flavors there too.
Definitely, I like that lens to look it through. If you're stuck, just go different flavor profiles by different countries. That's a very good idea. I'll steal that one for myself even.
Nice.
So that puts us right where we wanted to be at. That's a kind of a quick 10-minute answer, and there still could have been more there too. We'll go into our rapid fire questions here. So Jay's going to condense some knowledge quickly. And if you ever have any ideas for questions, we are always looking for more. If you want to get a specific question answered, we can answer it in this section too. So, starting off quickly, what's new at Altman right now?
Ooh, good question. Two things that I can think of are new. One is we have these new slam balls. And these are it's a medicine ball. It's really heavy. They really heavy. Yes, they range. The ones that we have range from 15 to 25 pounds. And these balls, unlike a traditional medicine ball, they don't bounce. So take it and you can really get kind of angry with it and slam this thing on the ground, and it doesn't move. And there's a lot of ab exercises, a lot of core exercises. So those are really fun, and we're excited to have those. So if you are a member already, check out the slam balls. You'll start to see them being incorporated into the workouts. And if you're not a member yet, remember we have the 3 free afterburn workouts that you can find a link for under this video after I post it. And then the other thing that's going on is as you know, we're getting ready to do our next 6-week body transformation challenge. Definitely. And I'm super excited. And on that note, if you're out there right now and you're wanting to do the 6-week body transformation challenge for free, you have a chance, because today, up until 6 p.m. tonight, you can sign up. And again, I'll put the link underneath the videos here so you can click on it, but you have to be signed up by 6 p.m. tonight. There's a timer on the page, and when it expires, it'll be done. But what's going to happen after 6 p.m., I'm going to draw one name, and then that person's going to get to do the 6-week body transformation challenge completely free and still be eligible for all the prizes, which is cool.
That is awesome.
Yeah. So that's the newest stuff.
That is perfect. All right. The next question is around workout consistency. How big of a deal is it to be the same time of day?
Yep.
And or even just to get maybe some weeks it's 2, some weeks it's 3, some weeks it's 4, some weeks it's 1.
To me, I love this question. To me, consistency is the number one thing you have to be concerned with. And what we found over the years is if you dedicate a specific day and time every week, for example, if you are Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 5:45 in the morning, that's your time, and you're committed to that, and once you start on that path, what happens is once you're on that time, nobody else schedules anything with you, and you don't schedule anything with anybody else. So everybody kind of understands this is your day, and this is your time to work out. And so, and we find out with any of the times, whether it's noon Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 5:30 p.m. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, whatever the time that is your time, make it the same every single week. That way you know you have that time, you're committing to yourself, but then you're telling everybody around you that this is your time and nothing else can interfere.
That is perfect. All right. Muscle soreness, how to avoid and lessen? If that's going to be a quick answer, potentially.
Yeah, so how to avoid and lessen. So for one is to not overtrain. So one golden rule I'd say with training is to always train based on kind of where you are right now in your life. So if you've been, say you're a member with us and you've been training for a long time, you can do a lot more than someone if you're not a member or you're not doing what we do here coming in, you're going to have a different response to the exercise. So ease yourself into it. Give yourself a 6 to 12 week ramp up time. That for one is going to help a lot in the recovery. And then immediately following the workouts, have some protein and some carbohydrate within 1 hour following that workout.
Quick answer. Okay. How do I know if nutrition online is reliable?
I don't know. That's a great question. How do you know if it's reliable? I guess if you find something online and you have a specific question, I would say come and ask us about it, and then I can give you my opinion, or
Gotcha.
we can give our opinions here. But it's hard to know. There's so much garbage out there. I think you can't really know if it's reliable or not, even if it's coming from some of the reputable sources like Mayo Clinic. Sometimes I'll see things that maybe I don't agree with, and it might be for my own reasonings. But I'm always happy to share those. But I think we're out of time for that segment, and I don't have time to answer that further.
That's okay. That's okay. All right. So that actually, you answered 2 questions in one there with the drawing as well. So that's perfect. Nice. For our 5 minutes time period we
Cool.
had there.
So I think right now we're at 11 o'clock, which means we're going to be saying goodbye to you over here at the Altman Fitness page. We'll be joining you only at the Altman Bootcamp page to answer your questions. And but before I let you go, just remember there are 2 things. If you're not a member yet here at Altman Fitness, we would love to meet you. We would love to help you, and we'd love to serve you. And we would want you to try us out for free. And you'll find a link just below the video that you can try us out with 3 free afterburn workouts. So check that out. And if you are interested in getting the most weight off your body that you can in 6 weeks' time, sign up today. I'll put also a link for the 6-week body transformation challenge. And then for any questions that any of you guys have, I want your most challenging questions. I don't want easy questions. I want your hardest questions. What is truly coming up for you? What's preventing you from going from where you are to where you want to be? And ask those questions to us so that we can get those answered for you. And that said, I want to say I'm thankful for you. Thank you so much. I'll say goodbye to you. And hang on right here. I'll be right back.
The question we're going to answer next is going to be, for those of you that are going to be staying and for those of you that will be leaving, is going to be, what foods does Jay recommend not eating?
Good question.
So
all right.
That's what's in the next video.
Bye over there.